Well, we were going to take a final timeout, but it looks like we're ready to go a little bit early. The Blue Devils are coming out to address it. They won the toss, deferred to the second half. They'll kick off, and the Blue Devils are going to be moving left to right here in the first half. They're wearing the blue helmet with the white Q, the white top, the blue pants, and the black shoes. They're going to kick it away to Peoria Notre Dame. They've got the blue helmet with the white center stripe, dark blue jersey with the white numbers, and white pants here at home. Wind is whipping out of the north end zone from north to south. The temperature has dropped to 72 degrees. And, Jim, the best word I can think of is menacing skies as we start this game.
Yeah, it's pretty dark. Luckily, knock on the wood here in the press box, it's gone all the way around us. You can see the rain coming down. That wind, though, should help us here in the first quarter with our kickoff. It's certainly behind us, and you want to keep the ball away from number 8, Shadid, as much as possible.
Shadid is back, both. Andy is the focus, and the left foot is up and into the end zone. It's going to be a touchback as Peoria Notre Dame was lined up to bring that out with Justin Parker. Parker won't get a chance, and PND will start with the ball at their own 20 on our first offensive possession tonight. Both these teams are 1-0, and really for Notre Dame, they feel like it was a squandered opportunity last year at Flynn Stadium. Malik Robbins scored with just 90 seconds to go, brought the Blue Devils from behind for that win.
Yeah, here we go.
Shadid in the backfield. Washington under center. Handed off to Shadid up the middle and away. Right through the gut, and it's going to be 80 yards on the very first play from scrimmage. And the touchdown for Peoria Notre Dame. They used the offensive threat of Shadid to fake it. It was Ben Barkley who broke through the line, and Barkley goes 80 yards on the game's first touch.
Well, that's certainly about the worst thing you could think of happening here. You focus on Shadid, right up the gut, linebackers get blocked out, and 80 yards later, PND's in for a score.
Well, that fooled both of us. We both figured Andy Shadid was going to get that first touch. You're talking about Shadid. He carried it 15 times last week in the win over Richwoods for 203 yards, including a 51-yard touchdown run. He had 2 touchdowns in that game, and they fake it to Shadid early. And then the 80-yard run by Berkeley. The extra point is good. And right away, it's a 7-0 lead for Peoria Notre Dame over Quincy High. Well, this is an explosive team. They were really good last week against Richwoods of getting into the red zone, Jim, and then finishing drives off. They only scored 1 time from outside the red zone. Bowski with the extra point is good. And it's 7-0 as it's a home run on the very first touch for the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, well, we're going to have our offense try and match them. We don't need a one-play score, but we certainly need first downs and a drive to stop some of this momentum, which 12 seconds into the first quarter, Peoria Notre Dame has already grabbed.
It's hard to have your defensive rushing stats look good after you give up an opening play 80 yards.
Right up the middle.
And
the middle.
That was the alarming part to me. That play was between the tackles.
I mean, it was like a standard dive.
Yeah. So the Devils will be back to receive just 12 seconds into the game here tonight. They find themselves down 7-0. Bowski ready to kick it away, and he puts the boot to it. Devils are going to be touched back in their own end zone, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the Blue Devils' own 20 for the first possession. Blue Devils last week had an interesting rushing week. It was Brock Miller with 15 touches to go over 100 yards at 101. Smith, the dynamic sophomore, with 62. Francis had the fumble at 44 yards. Unmisig, 10 carries, but just 35 yards. He's going to find out this year what it's like to be the known commodity early in the season and have defenses keying on you.
Yeah, but he's got to be the back that gets the tough yards, and he's got to accept that role.
Cricard with Brock Miller, Smith, and Unmisig behind him. They'll put Smith in motion and hand it off right up the middle. Hard dive out to the 22 as the Blue Devils want to start this on the inside with power to Unmisig.
You know, one thing you'll find as you look at Peoria Notre Dame's defense, you got Washington, Shadid, Hurst, all their starters on offense. There's 6 of them right there that are going both ways. They do not take rest. Their best players play both sides of the football.
And I think it hurt them last year as the Blue Devils staged that late rally.
Yeah.
Blue Devils come out 2nd and 8, 11-15 to go, down 7-0, first quarter. Cricard under center, wants to turn around and hand it off. Put it in the hands of Brock Miller. He wants to bust outside, nowhere to go. He's brought down for no gain outside.
Yeah, that's Hurst, number 44, their inside linebacker who also plays tight end, 6'4", 210. Very good player, similar to our version of Seth Holschlag, but if you don't get ahead on Peoria Notre Dame's defense, they're able to fly to the football. They've got speed and they've got size.
Near side hash mark now as the Devils move left to right. That's north to south here in the first quarter. Wind is swirling at field level. We have a beautiful view tonight from Endress Field in Peoria. Out of the shotgun now, Kirkard with one man behind him, trips to the right. They want to throw over the middle. He brings it down, puts it up, and it's caught by Unmasig and dropped. Unmasig, he gets hammered right as he tried to bring it in from Andrew Shadid. He plays free safety, and I just had a conversation before the game tonight with the officiating crew about what the IHSA made a point of focus this year. It's defenseless players, and I thought we might see an early call there as off his feet was Unmasig going down the seam when he got hit, but all the flags stay tucked away.
Yeah, the problem was that ball sailed on George Kirkard, and it was kind of floated in there. He could have zipped it in and probably had a better chance at making the catch.
The punt is away. Shadid has it. Cuts up the middle. He's across the 50. He's into the 20, the 10. He angles to the corner. Shadid, a 60-yard punt return, and it's a rout early for Peoria Notre Dame as they've gone up 13-0 with 10:17 here to play in the first quarter. That was a big-time flowing of gap assignments for this punt coverage team for the Blue Devils. They didn't cover up any lanes.
That's about as bad a two plays as you could possibly have.
Well, the Blue Devils are reeling here early. And Shadid, who had that big 51-yard touchdown last week and set up a key drive with a 33-yard return, gets on the board here early. Bowski hits the extra point, and it's 14-0. And the Blue Devils haven't caught their breath yet.
No, they better wake up, get some smelling salts or something. It's like they're still on the bus.
Well, you stay on the bus one more series, and you're not going to be in this game. And lightning just hit in the sky just to the south of us. Let's hope it was far enough away not to set off the sensor here, or it's a 30-minute mandatory timeout. We're at Endress Field on the north side of Peoria if you're watching the game and watching the radar at the same time.
That might be the 10 count, or 8 count the Devils need right now to get a break. They certainly have been punched in the face and not responded.
Both teams are hoping this game goes off without incident. I was confused for a moment there. This field is grass at Richwoods, and they don't put the yard markers on the field. They're only the small sideline, old school yard markers, and they were all covered up for a little while there. Devils back to return, and they'll get a shot to return this one. Devils take it at their own 5, out to the 10, now to 20. Cut back to the near side, room to run for Brockmiller, and he's brought down to the 22, and so the Blue Devils will have it 1st and 10 at their own 22 on the 17-yard return by Brockmiller.
Well, the one thing the Devils need to do here is you need to keep Peoria Notre Dame off the field. Can't have a 3 and out. You got to get some positive yardage. You got to get some positive plays and pick up a 1st down and try and at least eat up some clock. We're only a minute, 2 minutes into this game, and it's already 14-0.
Yeah, Blue Devils down big, 14-0 here early. Devils want to run it far side, turn it up. They'll take it out to the 35-yard line. That'll be a gain of 11 on the carry by Unmasig.
Well, yeah, actually, the Devils that time went shotgun. It looks like they're going to try and open it up a little bit by going to the passing game, which if we hit those quick hitters, that may help the running game a little bit. Shotgun again.
And trips to the near side, one to the far side. Unmasig's going to stay back with Kirkard in the backfield. They're going to set up the bubble. Here's the pause, down the seam, intercepted. Intercepted out of the backfield by Shadid, and he is going to turn it to the far side. He intercepted it at the 42, wants to take it down the sideline. He's inside the 20 at the red zone to 15. That's going to be a return of 27 yards off the interception. And it's going to be Peoria Notre Dame's Fighting Irish setting up 1st and 10 from inside the Blue Devils red zone at the 15.
Terrible pass. Double pumped. Let the safety come over the top. Telegraph right where you're going, and it was an easy pick. The problem is with our passing game, you've got to step back and throw the football. You can't step back, hold it, double pump, wait for a guy to get open and throw, something that isn't a quick, tight spiral. It's going to be read and picked, especially by a guy like Shadid.
That is David. Now it's Washington under center. Turns around, hands it off. Run power behind the left tackle across the 10-yard line and down to the 7. That's going to be a pickup of 7 for Peoria Notre Dame as they run that one just off tackle. Wish you did. That was Luke on the carry. All right, actually Andrew, excuse me. 87 yards on the ground in 2 plays. The big punt return and the big interception return. Washington under center, going to take it out to the corner for Andrew Shadid. Shadid cuts it up to the 5, worms his way down to the 2. He's close to the goal line, may have a first down. He does have a first down inside the 5. That's going to be a pickup of 7 on the play. Down to the 1 is where they'll mark it.
Yeah, the problem is that's 7 yards every carry.
Blue Devils going to have to check themselves here, and we're not even halfway through the first quarter. 14-0. Peoria Notre Dame has come out with a devastating Mike Tyson approach here early. Lined up for power out of the wishbone. Ball's on the ground. Washington covers it up back at the 4. That'll be a loss of 3 on the missed handoff.
Well, too bad that ball didn't bounce a little more. We could have got on it. That would have been a pleasant turn of events.
Wind still out of the north, and it has cooled off to about 72 for kickoff. Pine trees lining the far side of the track on the east side of the field. The sun has set, and the lights have taken over here at Endress Field. Right now, the Blue Devils starry-eyed in those lights as they trail 14-0 after the big hits early by Peoria Notre Dame. Turn around, hand it off to Shadid. He goes up the middle, picks up 2, down to the 2, and that'll bring up 3rd down and goal from the 2 for Peoria Notre Dame. 10 yards for Shadid. Clock grinds down to 7:50 to go first quarter. If you're just joining us, it's already 14-0 Peoria Notre Dame. Barkley goes for 80 yards on the first play of the game, and then the punt return from Shadid made it 14-0. Handed off, and it's going to be kept by Washington. Floats it to the back of the end zone. Touchdown on the reception by David Shadid. He had the interception in the 27-yard return to set this up. Give it to Shadid to let him finish it off 20-0 with the extra point to come.
Well, Carson Gay just got burned. I mean, he bit on the fake handoff to Shadid on the opposite side. Washington rolls around wide open in the corner is Shadid. He's nowhere to be found. He's trailing, and it's an easy pitch and catch. No one within 5 yards of him.
So the 2-yard touchdown. A reception by David Shadid. And the extra point by Bowski is good. 21-0. Let's take a timeout. Hopefully the Devils regroup before this kick return. You're listening to Blue Devil football. They trail 21-0 on the road against Peoria Notre Dame on 103.9 The Fox.
A loved one passes on, and for a moment, time seems to stand still.
My husband was my whole world. We spent so much time together.
Making funeral arrangements is never easy. We can help you create a ceremony with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
$7:35 to go first quarter. This is a runaway locomotive right now, this Peoria Notre Dame team. They put 42 on Richwoods last week. Blue Devils on the return. Flag flies. That could be a block in the back at the 20-yard line. Blue Devils return it out to the 21. Let's see what the call is. We've been penalty-free so far here in the opening 4.5 minutes tonight. Jim, you're reeling.
It's, it's a poor start, to say the least. I mean, you think you'd come off ready to play a team and would get your best shot, and
That's going to be a hold on the return, so that's 10 yards, and it'll back the Blue Devils up inside their own 20-yard line.
I mean, the Devils look right now like they have no idea where they are.
That'll back the Blue Devils up to their own 12-yard line. So the Devils, they need to pick up a few first downs and just start to establish a rhythm and some confidence before you start crawling back into this game.
Yeah, they need first downs, eat the clock, and try and get something going on offense.
Far side hash marks. They split the tight ends, run it right up the middle, and out to the 15-yard line as the Devils were backed up on the 10-yard penalty to start the drive. It'll be a pickup of 3 for the Devils.
And the problem is, PND is getting 7 yards a carry. We're getting 2 or 3. Where does that start? It starts up front. We need a better push from our line, better sustaining our blocks, and something needs to pop here to get the Devils some momentum. Trips again out of the shotgun now.
Blue Devils on 2nd down and 6, trips to the near side. They're going to run the handoff on the delay and nowhere to go. Down at the 15, the Blue Devils like to try that delay each and every time. It's become predictable, though, and down on the carry is Brock Miller for no yards. I'd like to call out a thank you to my color partner. He brought the most powerful pair of binoculars I've ever used in my broadcast career tonight.
That's the only thing that's gone right so far.
Oh, these things are beautiful. I can watch Schluter sweat on the sidelines. They're going to run it, curl it near side now. Krikard, he wants to lob it over the middle, and he overthrows his intended target. That was Holschlag. Holschlag was behind the defense of Shadid on the far side. Flag is down at the 33-yard line.
They got number 3 for Peoria Notre Dame, Barkley, with a hold on Holschlag. He had beat him, and he reached out and grabbed his jersey. So if anything, it looks like we may have a first down by way of penalty.
And that is going to be a first down for the Devils. Devils' first down comes on the penalty here tonight. Blue Devils now from the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Ricard in under center. He's got Unmasig behind him. They're going to go stacked trips on the near side, ball on the far side hash mark. Ricard calls it out under center. They're going to go on the delay. They hand it off to Unmasig. Unmasig far side. PND's seen that play too often. He gets 2 yards and belted right in the face mask.
Yeah, Hurst wasn't fooled at all by that. You know, that's that backward wraparound Statue of Liberty type play, and Unmasig almost fumbled it, slowed him down. And, you know, those kind of plays, when we go the same formation, really aren't fooling a team like Peoria Notre Dame, who's sound in their assignments.
Blue Devils come to the line. They're going to split Unmasig into the slot now. It'll be Ruths on the outside and Smith on the inside. Heavy pressure in the backfield. Krikard is going to go down. Oh, it was a party in the backfield for Peoria Notre Dame. They got there in a hurry with Jacob Hurst, and then he was joined by Joe Sheedy, and it was nowhere for Krikard to go.
You know, the problem is, I think our passing game, we're best served by quick hitting plays, a 2-step, 3-step drop, and a quick, you know, curl or a slant. We don't have a lot of time when we try and drop back to a 5 or 7-step drop and wait for things to develop.
3rd and 15, 5 minutes to go. First quarter, Devils down 21-0. They need a big pickup here, and the passing game hasn't yielded any fruit. They may get a free 5 here, though. It looked like Therer was into the neutral zone. Number 55, the linebacker, probably coming on a blitz.
You know, we heard a lot about the Blue Devils and Coach Luton coming over and opening up the passing game and going to a more spread offense. Well, when you're down 21-0 right now and not much is working, we'll see how that has developed and how they worked on it this summer and see what they can do, because not a lot going right in the running game right now.
Blue Devils looking at 3rd down and a long 13 after the neutral zone infringement. They're going to come out looking to pass again. Cricard throws it to the near side sideline. Roos off one hand. He could only get his right hand up, and Roos looked like he was maybe grabbing his hamstring or his side when that ball was thrown to him.
It looked like he slipped and fell down, and he hit it with one hand and almost deflected it right to Shadid, Luke Shadid, number 6, who almost intercepted it.
This has been an ugly first quarter for the Blue Devils. Back to punt. They'll angle it near side. All the way back to take it is Shadid. And Shadid takes it to the far side at the 40. Cuts back at the 45. Ankle tackled at the 44. And he'll go down there. So Blue Devils finally show that they can contain at least one play here for Peoria Notre Dame.
Yeah, the problem is, I don't know why we don't, and maybe we don't practice it, I don't know. But, why aren't we angle punting away from him? That was a straight line drive punt right to him. I mean, a guy like him, that's exactly what he's looking for to set up his blocks.
21-0, Peoria Notre Dame on top of the Blue Devils. 4:17 to go first quarter. There's a storm that came through the Peoria area this afternoon. We're hoping to get by without a delay here tonight. 2 behind Washington is their 1st and 10. Put a man in motion, now go right up the middle. And they just handed it off to the fullback that time. That was Berkeley again. And he plows forward for a gain of 5.
I mean, Peoria Notre Dame's getting a heck of a push at the point of attack on the front 5. They're getting 5 yards before our guys even wrapping around them.
2nd and 5 from midfield. Blue Devils have shown no indication that they can stop what Peoria Notre Dame wants to do offensively so far tonight. And we're 9 minutes in. Put a man in motion again. That Shadid. They hand it off, and Blue Devils think they have the ball carrier. And on a late fake, Washington kept it. Blue Devils were all over Barkley, who paid the price. And Washington sneaks forward all the way down to the 40 for a gain of 10.
Yeah, Peoria Notre Dame runs a zone read offense. Washington's going to either keep or hand it off. And he, faked to Barkley there, and everyone thought he had it. And sure enough, he pulls it around. Next thing you know, he's around the corner, our end bit down, and he's got 10 yards.
21-0, Peoria Notre Dame on top. Ball near the near side hash mark. Peoria Notre Dame's Fighting Irish moving right to left. They're going to come up out of the wishbone. Ball is loose. Washington falls on it, and the Devils, they do one good thing. They get there in a hurry with Lovelace as he's on top of Washington to make sure he can't turn a broken play in.
Too bad he didn't get there just a little quicker to fall on the ball. But, the only 2 negative plays Peoria Notre Dame has had so far have been the 2 times their quarterback fumbled the snap.
That's going to be a loss of 3. Yeah, he's lost 3 yards both times he's fumbled the snap. Once was on the goal line, this one near midfield. So back to the 43. It's going to be 2nd down and 13 for Peoria Notre Dame. Come out of that 2-man backfield, hand it off to Barkley. Barkley's got room up the middle. He's down to the 35-yard line as he picks up 8. And it'll be a manageable situation with 5 to go. And we'll see if they elect to punt it or go for it here.
It's only third.
Oh, they changed the board early. All right, so 3rd down and 5.
The problem is, that's a zone read off tackle, and we've got them in 2nd and 13, and now, like you said, they got 8 yards. They're only in 3rd and 5. You'd like to see them in a 3rd and 10 type situation.
93 yards for Barkley already on the ground here tonight. Let's see if they go to the young man again. They're going to take it back for Washington to throw. He's got all kinds of time. Lobs it up downfield. It is caught at the 5, and it's 1st and goal for Peoria Notre Dame after the stretching catch from David Shadid. He has the touchdown and both receptions from Washington tonight as they pick up 31 yards.
Wide open, right down the gut, and Washington had all sorts of time back there to sit and wait for that play to develop before he put a nice ball right on the money, right over our safety, who had bit on the play action. That's the problem with this zone read in our defense. If you are not sound and stay where you're supposed to stay, they will pick you apart.
Minute 45 to go first quarter, and already Peoria Notre Dame threatening to make it a 4-score game. Pitch it outside. She did race to the corner, puts his head down, and takes it inside the flag. That's a touchdown for Andy Shadid. And it's 27-0 with still 98 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Blue Devils just flat got beat to the flag that time.
Yeah, it's simple principles on football. You have to block and you have to tackle. And they're blocking and we're not tackling.
So the PAT coming on from Bowski. He did their kicking work last week, and he's lined up to do it again tonight. Alex Fauski. He's a senior, 5'10", 165 pounds, and he knocks this PAT up and just inside the far upright. Minute 38 to go. Blue Devils get it back. They need to make something happen here in the first quarter. They trail 28-0 on the road at Peoria Notre Dame on 103.9 The Fox.
Around here, people matter, and relationships are built on trust. That's the way it is at Town and Country Bank. Real people who like things simple, honest, and done right. And our roots are right here, so we're truly local. If you already do business with us, then you know how good banking can be. And if you're not, well, maybe you should. Town and Country Bank. You'll like how we do business.
Part of the HNB Bank family.
Federated.
Four offensive possessions for Peoria Notre Dame, and they are 4 for 4, leading the Blue Devils 28-0. Minute 36 to go. Devils fumble it at the goal line. They'll pick it up now with Smith. Smith on the return, cuts it out to the 10, the 15, the 17, and he'll be down there. Blue Devils are going to start first and 10 at their own 17. Jim, you've been in huddles where I'm sure you've been behind in games before, but when you feel like one's slipping away, how do you kind of set the tone to restart the game or to start to crawl back in?
First of all, you got to suck it up and have some pride. I mean, have some desire to be out there and to play and to compete. And the second thing is you got to just chip away. I mean, we're only in the first quarter. I mean, the defense needs to stand. We need to put points on the board, yes, but we need to get some.
With Brock Miller, he takes this one out to the 25-yard line. That's the biggest play from scrimmage tonight for the Devils as they get 9.
I mean, they got to just simply, suck it up. Realize there's 3 quarters of football left to play. Your defense has got to get a stop somehow, and your offense has got to find a way to get the ball in the end zone.
Make that 7 for Brock Miller. Blue Devils be 2nd and 3 from the 25. They need to get just past the 28 for a first down. Near side hash mark, wing T behind Kirkard. Turn around, hand it off, Unmisig. He waits for his blocker, gets pinned in. He'll be near the first down marker and should have it out to the 31-yard line. Pick up a 5 for Unmisig. That is the first down the Devils have earned for themselves here tonight. The other one came on a penalty.
And I think it got 2 wild cheers from the stands here that I just heard.
I heard your cowbell go off. 35 seconds now, first quarter. Blue Devils down 28-0 as we play at Richwoods. Peoria Notre Dame playing away from home this season. Wishbone behind Kirkard. They're going to try and pull it outside with Smith. Smith gets a block at the point of attack. May have been drugged down by the back of his shirt. No call there. And Devils are going to be down just on the 35-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 5.
See that now there's positive play right there. Run a sweep, 5 yards, 2nd and 5. We got a first down, let the clock run, catch your breath, don't even think about snapping it.
You can't get off another snap before the end of the quarter. The Devils will have it 2nd and 5 from the 35 when we start the second quarter next. They trail on the road at Peoria Notre Dame 28-0 after an absolute clinic by the Fighting Irish in the first 12 minutes. Blue Devil football continues next on 103.9 The Fox.
Oh, that story looks good. Let me click that link. What? Locked? Pay site? Why do they link stories that I can't see? I'm not paying for that.
All of your online news at your fingertips is free on QuincyJournal.com. Quincy Journal also has a mobile site that fits your smartphone perfectly. And have you taken a peek at QJTV, QND Lady Raiders, Quincy High Blue Devils, QND Raiders games and more, live on QJTV. For the latest in politics, community news, and more, free every day, it's QuincyJournal.com.
A loved one passes on, and for a moment, time seems to stand still.
My husband was my whole world. We spent so much time together.
Making funeral arrangements is never easy. We can help you create a ceremony with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
Second half, he runs backwards, and he's going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage. He ran 35 yards east to west and loses 2 on the play.
Yeah, you know, last week that kind of play might have worked, but both Shadids are on the corners. You're not gonna have much success running backwards 5 yards to try and get to the corner.
So the Blue
against
Devils
this team
face 3rd and 7 after 2nd and 5. Devils have had 3 negative plays so far here in the first half. We've just started the second quarter. Devils down 28-0. They're going to go out of the shotgun for Kirkard. Wants to throw the bubble screen, and he underthrows his target on the near side as he had Brockmiller open in the flat with plenty of room to run, and it's going to bring up 4th and 7, and the Devils look like they have to punt again.
Well, the problem is the ball was granted a little low, but Brockmiller's got to catch the football. That play was wide open.
So far, Kirkard has targeted Holschlag, Roots, Unmissig, and Brockmiller, and doesn't have a completion here tonight. And it's either been the timing of the play or the pattern just hasn't been there. The punt is away. Shadid's going to let this one bounce. Devils are going to touch it at the 42-yard line. It comes to rest at the 38, and it'll be Peoria Notre Dame's ball, 1st and 10 at their own 43. That's where the Blue Devils first touch it. Defensive team touches it, then that's the end of the play. Ball's down there, so it's going to be Peoria Notre Dame, 1st and 10 at their own 43.
Well, the problem with that is you're punting into the wind, so we didn't get the first down. You punt into the wind, and now you've given them basically a short field.
Starting field position for Peoria Notre Dame tonight, their own 20. That was a one-play, 80-yard touchdown run by Barkley. The punt return for a touchdown. They started at the QHS 15 after the interception, then their own 44, and now their own 43. They're going to turn around and hand it off, and the false start, that was easy to see even from up here. Interior lineman that time for Peoria Notre Dame, Jordan Terrier, one of their captains. He's going to be called for the false start, and that's going to back up Peoria Notre Dame 5 yards. Their 3rd penalty tonight for 20 yards on PND. 11:04 to go, first half, 28-0. You give up a touchdown here, you're in danger of a first half running clock for a team that is supposed to be holding out high hopes for this season in the Blue Devils.
Somebody on defense is going to have to stiffen their neck and start making some plays because, like you said, if we don't make some stops, that's what's going to happen.
1st and 15 from the 37 now. Turnaround keeper for Washington. Pitches it outside. Hip swivel by Shadid. He gets to the sideline and is going to be knocked out there after a nice gain going around the corner.
Unfortunately, Carson Gay is not having a night worth talking about, and he had the pitch player, Shadid, tackled for a 2-yard loss and let him get out. Then he broke another tackle, and instead of from 1st and 15, now we have 2nd and 4.
That was a 12-yard gain for Luke Shadid, his first play that's been run for him tonight. It's been Barkley, the surprise feature here early. 2nd down and 4 from the 49. Washington under center, put a man in motion. They'll hand it off. They go to Barkley. Barkley's got the first down across midfield and into Blue Devil territory at the 46. He's able to pick up 5.
Defensively, we just can't figure out what they're doing.
No, not at all.
We can't even get a stop to force a punt, especially after we had them backed up 1st and 15.
First and 10 from the Blue Devil 46-yard line. Man in motion is Shadid. They're going to hand it off to Shadid, Andrew Shadid. He's got the first down and more. He's down to the 35 where he's upended after a gain of 11. I have, Jim, breaking news. This just coming in. A funnel cloud has been spotted at Public School Stadium where Quincy Notre Dame is playing Alton tonight, Alton Marquette. People have been told to evacuate that stadium and go into the gym. So it's been bad weather for even worse than what the Blue Devils have encountered for Quincy Notre Dame, as they are now under a tornado warning and have had to abandon Public School Stadium. 1st and 10, going to hold it. Washington on a broken play, finds Shadid. Shadid still with his feet moving. He's down just inside the 25 to the 24, and he makes a first down and 11 yards out of a broken play in which it looked like that was for Barkley, and he broke the wrong way.
Well, the problem is our corners. That time it was, I believe, the other gay, Cameron, are getting walled off, and instead of flying to make the tackle, are waiting for the runner to come to them, and by the time they do that, another blocker is getting on them, and that's just opening up the hole.
28-0, Peoria Notre Dame on top of the Blue Devils and threatening more. We're just under 10 minutes to go. First half, Washington under center, turns around, hands it off to Shadid. That's Luke Shadid. He's inside the red zone, down to the 16-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 9. These are just quick hitters that instead of going for a 2 or 3 yard dive are going for 7, 8, and 9.
Any play they're calling, they can run whatever they want right now.
Blue Devils, their backs against the wall. 9.5 to go now. It's going to be second and long one from the 17-yard line. Washington. He's the forgotten man in this offense. He's a 6'4", 205-pound mobile senior quarterback. They're going to put Shadid in motion. Washington hands it off late. Blue Devils that time all over the ball carrier. Lovelace comes up and snuffs that play out before it has a chance to develop with Barkley.
The problem was they only needed, I believe, 1 yard.
Looked like they came up short to me because they didn't take it even across the 15. They need to get about a football's length inside the 15. 99 yards now on 5 carries for Barkley. For Peoria Notre Dame. 8:40 to go. And coming to the line, PND. Washington, let's see if he just sneaks it himself. He does, and he's got plenty. He picks up 2, maybe 3 on that quarterback lunge, and it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line on Washington's 3-yard keeper. But Peoria Notre Dame, there's no sugarcoating it, Jim. They're moving the ball at will with any player.
Yeah, the only time we've stopped them is when their quarterback fumbled.
Yeah, and it's been twice so far here tonight. Let's see if Washington stays clean on this trip into the red zone. He's got Barkley behind him and Shadid. They're going to hand it to Shadid. Shadid goes up the middle, follows his blocks, cuts it back when he gets to the second level. Feet still churning. He's down to the 5, stood up there. The play's going to be whistled dead. He's close to a first down after a gain of 9, and it's going to be 2nd and 1 from the 4.
We have not one defender in the hole at the point of attack at any point in time.
Yeah, he's cutting back with impunity.
Yeah, and their running backs aren't getting touched until they're about 5 yards downfield past the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 1 from the 4. 7:45 to go, first half. Blue Devils trailing Peoria Notre Dame 28-0. The Blue Devils are being embarrassed, frankly, right now on the road. PND going to pitch it outside. Shadid, Andrews stops, starts, and waltzes into the end zone untouched. Well, he got a great block that time from the guard outside, but the Devils had 2 would-be tacklers fly by and can't touch Luke Shadid as he strolls into the end zone.
To say that's embarrassing is to put it mildly.
4-yard touchdown. They did it from distance, and now Peoria Notre Dame grinding it out, scoring from short range. An extra point to come to make it 35-0 with 7.5 to play here in the first half. Bowski waits, the hold is good, the kick is up, poked through, and it's good. 35-0, 7:30 to go first half. The Devils trailing big on the road in Peoria. We'll have the Devils kickoff return coming up next on 103.9 The Fox.
It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available, and Adams is bringing fiber to the home. Nothing else compares to fiber, and Adams will be connecting Quincy neighborhoods to this lightning-fast internet and telephone service with no gimmick pricing and local service. Find out how your neighborhood can become a fiberhood. Just take the quick survey at followthefiber.net. Adams, the better and now faster way to connect.
Looking to well, find some momentum here in the middle of this second quarter. Bowski ready to kick it away. Blue Devils back to return. Brockmiller on the near side, Smith on the far side. They're going to kick it right down the middle and into the end zone. Touchback, no return opportunity. And the Devils will start from their own 20-yard line.
Well, this will deflate whatever ego the Quincy Blue Devil football team had about being ranked, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know that Coach Little would tell you they don't pay attention to that. Young men will often read their clippings, and you might as well use those for the birdcage liner right now.
Yeah, you better hope it's 70-0 at the end of the fourth if you don't start doing something.
Let's see if the Blue Devils get it started. 1st and 10 from their own 20. Twins right and left. Out of the shotgun goes Krikard. He's got Brockmiller back. Short pass to Holschlag. He fumbles it and then dives on top of it. Holschlag loses 2. Now they're going to say incompletion on that. He didn't have it long enough.
Well, the problem is George Krikard is throwing the football so low that even if Holschlag caught that, he's almost on his knee already.
2nd down and 10. Devils moving right to left here in this second half. They are moving into the wind, though it has slacked off a bit. Twins right and left again. One man back to protect Ricard. Wants to throw, 3-step drop. Now gets pressure backside. Duck nose up. It's intercepted on the tip. Tipped at the line. And the interception by the linebacker, Jacob Hurst, the captain. 2nd interception of Ricard here tonight. An enviable field position at the 25-yard line for PND.
If I would have known better, I would have thought he was throwing exactly right to that guy. I don't think that was tipped. I think he just threw it right to.
Well, I thought it was tipped. There was pressure coming off the near side of the line.
There was a Quincy High receiver within 15 yards of that guy.
PND out of the interception. Wants to throw with Washington. He's got room down the sideline. One man is open, in and out of the hands of Luke Shadid. And that was 6 if Shadid held on to it, but he just couldn't, as it was ever so slightly underthrown.
See, but here's the difference. When you compare quarterbacks, did you see how Washington bought time? He rolled out, waited for the play to develop, and then he put enough air under the ball in almost the perfect spot where only his receiver could get it or it was not going to be intercepted. And, you know, he throws a nice ball. He's got size. He's got a strong arm. And, you know, there's the difference.
35-0. Peoria Notre Dame on top. A touchdown here by the Fighting Irish, and it's a running clock. Turned around, handed off. Shadid takes it to the left side, across the 25, down to the 20-yard line. Give him a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 3rd and 5. Well, it is just the wild, wild west on the ground for this powerful PND offense. Washington has 13 on 2 carries. Barkley 99 and a touchdown on 5. Shadid 30 and a touchdown on 4. And Andrew Shadid has 45 and a touchdown on 7.
Do we even have 45 yards of offense yet?
No, I am looking at 34. 3rd down and 5. Going to be Twins right out of the shotgun. Twins left now 2. Washington rolls near side. Has a man open. Ball is caught for a 1st down at the 14-yard line as he goes outside and is able to hook it up with Patrick Dillon. Dillon, the junior tight end.
I mean, that's just an easy pitch and catch. That's a 8-yard, run your defender off, curl back. Washington delivers the ball right on time. 1st down.
Devils regrouping defensively. Peoria Notre Dame uses that wristband system. After the play, the whole team looking down at their wristbands. You don't see that much in the Western Big Six, but they use that here at PND. Trips to the left now, out of the shotgun for Washington. One man to the right, wants to throw a bubble screen. It's outside, he's got his man, that's Shadid. He dances inside the 10, picks up a block, and he's into the end zone. 15-yard touchdown on that bubble screen to the left for David Shadid make it.
That was pretty easy.
Pretty easy. 6, 7, and 8. David.
That was pretty easy when you have trips to the far side and our defense sends 2 guys to guard 3 men. And then you think Unmasi can come from the free safety spot in the middle of the field to come over and get there in time to make the play.
Washington, 2 touchdown passes tonight. One from 15 and one earlier from 2. He's got 56 yards through the air. The extra point is good, and 42-0 with just a hair under 6 minutes to go in the first half. We're going to look at a running clock for, well, at least until the Blue Devils put points on the board. 8-13 here.
This is about the worst high school football performance I've seen in a long time.
Let's see what the Devils can do as they look to regroup after this kickoff. We'll keep it here for you at Endress Field tonight. Sean Secrease along with Blue Devil Golden Helmet Award winner Jim Hansen. You know I'm going to bring that up constantly since they finally rectified the injustice, right?
The question becomes, as we start talking and filling time with score 42-0, does Peoria Notre Dame, do you rest your starters the second half?
I have their schedule here in front of me after the kickoff. I'll dig it up and see who they have coming up next week. But, you may start to look at that. Blue Devils back to receive, and it's going to be a touchback again. Brock Miller tried to leap with his heels on the goal line to knock that down. That's not a good decision.
You'd hate to, if you're Peoria Notre Dame's head football coach, you'd hate to see your star players get hurt in the second half when the game is 42-0 already.
Right. And Coach Walters, this is his 4th year here at Peoria Notre Dame, 21-12 coming into the game tonight. They had an opportunity to rest some guys last week too against Richwoods. Back is Cricard. He wants to hand it off, and this one goes to Unmasig. Unmasig is hit hard at the 20 and drops at the 21. After a gain of 1 as the clock runs here. Now running clock, 42-0 lead. I knew it was a bad omen when the umpiring crew, the officiating crew, was going over the running clock procedure with the clock operator here, and the guy looked at him and said, "We're not going to need that tonight." I was just hoping it was a bad omen for the home team.
Yeah.
25 yards on 6 carries now for Unmasig. Wing T behind Cricard. From the 21, he's going to hide it in the belly, hands it off to Brockmiller. Brockmiller dances his way out to a first down at the 31 for a pickup of 10. That's just the second time tonight the Devils have had a play for at least 10 yards, and Brockmiller has one to go along with Unmasig's run for 11 earlier. Devils have the first down at the 31-yard line. 5 minutes to go as the Devils come to the line, moving from right to left. Far side hash marks here in the first half, 42-0. Peoria Notre Dame on top now. The officiating crew has stopped the clock, and they're taking a look at the captain, the linebacker, Jacob Hurst for PND.
I don't think they stopped the clock.
Well, the clock stopped for a moment.
They stopped the play clock, the 25-second play clock, but they won't stop the...
Here's the run outside for Brockmiller now. He looks for space, won't get it. Clobbered after a gain of 4 at the 34-yard line. He's got 19 yards now on 6 carries tonight. What'd you bring for snacks tonight? You stop and get circus peanuts on the way, big fella?
Brought nothing. Zip.
We haven't taken a road. Jim and I had to travel separately today because of some extenuating circumstances. I usually get him circus peanuts for the road trip because that's his favorite.
Yeah, I got out late.
Second down and 7 for the Devils. They're going to hand it off Unmasig up the middle. He fights hard, digs his way out to the 40. He's going to be a yard shy of the first down, but he runs hard and picks up 6. 31 yards now for Unmasig as the clock runs to, it's going to be less than 3:40 when the Devils snap it this time. Running clock in effect, 42-0 here at Peoria Notre Dame's road game at home as they're playing at Richwoods. Devils, third down and 1. Wing T behind Cricard. Cricard's going to put his head down and go for it. Flag flies from the near side, judge. So we'll see what this
start.
is.
Cricard got up and nudged the center and moved early.
Boy, this will be devastating for the Blue Devils. It'll take away any momentum they were just building up. Devils waiting to see the call, and now they're looking to walk it off because it's going to be illegal motion. So the Devils hurt themselves with just their second penalty of the night. 2 penalties, 15 yards, but, you know, it's not just the penalties that you take, Jim. It's when you take them.
Yeah, that was 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1. Now you're 3rd and 6. You've done nothing all night. And just more of the same problems.
3rd and 6 from the 35. Blue Devils need the 41. Going to turn around, delayed handoff, give it to Smith. Smith has the angle, and the first down out to the 42. Smith just on a little slant that time coming out of the backfield. Cut it back, found the extra yardage for the first down. And a nice job by the sophomore Smith.
Yeah, he's a good hard runner. You know, picked up 7, had an opening, ran over a guy. You'd like to see him get the football a little bit more in the second half.
Blue Devils, 1st and 10 from the 42. They are being shut out 42-0. Ricard, under center, turn around, 5-step drop. He's back to pass, floats it up to the near side, and overthrows his intended target as he was looking out to the wing for a Holschlag. Holschlag had beat the free safety, Shadid, and now here's a late flag coming in, and Ricard is hot. He is dancing away from the referee, and I think that he said something after that play.
I think it was 71, Devin Prost, who said something to 52.
Prost, I'm sorry. Let's see, this is probably going to be a personal foul.
Well, I think you got a 10-yard holding penalty, and then to add on to that, you're going to have a 15-yard personal foul, dead ball personal foul. So you're going to have 25 yards marked off against Quincy High, and you'll have 1st and 35.
And just a very soft rain starting to fall now.
I'm sorry. Offsetting personal fouls.
That was a roughing the passer.
Replay the first down.
And you're going to replay the down. So a roughing the passer, which would have been a first down off the personal foul, had the Blue Devils not drawn the second penalty.
Yeah. The rain's coming, huh?
I just saw the little umbrellas like little Hoovervilles pop up in front of me everywhere. And you can just see under the lights on the far side a soft rain starting to fall. As long as there's no lightning in the area, we're fine. We'll play with rain.
Yeah.
Lightning, that's a no-go according to the IHSA.
We can live with rain.
Yes.
Although I don't like this. Oh, they got windows here. We can put these down.
Yeah. It's not your equipment. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly.
3 minutes to go. First half, 42-0. Blue Devils getting housed on the road against Peoria Notre Dame. Devils replaying first down after the offsetting penalties. They're going to fake it to Smith. Coming out the backside. Hit as he throws, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Shadid. He cuts it back to the far side. Andy Shadid on the return across midfield down to the 25-yard line as he takes that one back 30 yards on the interception, his second tonight.
You know, it's just a badly thrown ball. Holschlag's covered pretty well, and not only, you know, is he trying to thread it in there, he throws it behind him. I mean, the interceptions Peoria Notre Dame has had to make tonight have not been hard. I mean, they've literally been right in the
numbers. 42-0, 2:47 to go. Clock is stopped. No running clock in the first half. Is that the rule? Because they've been stopping the clock for all manner of things. Put a man in motion. That's Shadid. They're going to hand it off and keep it with Washington. Washington's up the middle, drug down from behind, just inside the 15. Give him a pickup of 12 and a first down. Washington really the forgotten option when you have Barkley and Shadid really eating up the ground. 25 yards on 3 carries for the senior quarterback, Washington.
I mean, let's be honest, he hasn't had to do much tonight.
Devils watching as the clock rolls down to 2:20 to go, first half. Washington under center has one man set off on the wing. They're going to turn around and hand it off up the middle. Blue Devils are wise to that, though, and going nowhere on the play thanks to the Devils' hard work inside by Devin Prost, the left tackle for the O-line. He's on that D-line as well right now, and he made sure there was nowhere for Shadid to go. Gain of 2 on the play. That's going to make it 2nd and 8. Andrew Shadid with 47 yards, a couple of interceptions, a 4-yard touchdown. Washington comes to the line, checks the wristband. 2nd and 8 from the 13-yard line, we'll call it. Comes up under center, hands it off to David Shadid. Shadid down to the 12. Little extracurricular on the far side as the Devils clashing, and some extra pushing from Vonchten of Peoria Notre Dame. No flags after the gain of 1 on the play. Devils looking at 3rd and 7 as they try to stop Peoria Notre Dame with a minute to go here in the first half. 42-0. Peoria Notre Dame, I hope we have time during halftime to recap all the scoring. Washington under center. Turn around, hand it off to Shadid. Oh, he keeps it himself. The bootleg looks into the end zone. It is caught over the middle. A great catch by the middle linebacker, turned tight end, the senior Jacob Hurst. Hurst is into the end zone from 12 yards. And if it wasn't before, the route is on now.
I mean, that was so easy. He faked, rolled it to his left, let the play develop, had Hurst coming over the middle, tight end, delay from the backside, no one near him, pitch and catch, rifle touchdown.
The extra point, Bowski, the snap was a little low. The placeholder had to pick it up off the turf, but Bowski waits and knocks through the PAT. 49-0, a dominating first half for Peoria Notre Dame. Even going back to the first years of Rick Little arriving at Quincy High, Jim, I don't remember a Blue Devil team looking this flummoxed, really, in any game.
They certainly haven't done anything to make a play on defense. The offense has been non-existent, and special teams, well, we already given up a punt return. I mean, it's 49-0, and we aren't even to halftime yet.
We'll have plenty of time in the second half for you to break down Western Illinois' chances at Camp Randall tomorrow.
Hey, you know, my junior year when I was starting offensive lineman for Western, we played up there. We're up 13-10 at half, and then unfortunately, Troy Vincent returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown and then a punt for a touchdown.
Special teams to get you.
Fun place to play. It's a good environment.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the sad thing is if this was a measuring stick for Quincy High this year, it certainly leaves a long way to go if
kick is away, and it'll be another touchback.
Try and have any sort of season like we did last year.
Well, the only thing that comes to mind right now is you're a kid in line at an amusement park, and you are not tall enough to ride this ride.
You know, the flip side to that is, you know, it's one game.
Yep.
One game does not a season make. Obviously, it'll be interesting to see how they rebound next week because look who's on the schedule and coming to town.
Devils coming home next
Rock
week.
Island.
Alleman.
I think
Just Rock Island. You're right. You're right. It is Rock Island. Now, let's take a look. We'll have plenty of time to do this in the second half, but the conference game I'm interested in tonight is the Devils want to run it outside and get nowhere. Drop for a loss of 1 on the play is the outside carry by Gay.
That was, we ran a toss there, a quick toss to the side, and their defensive outside linebacker got there before our running back could get to the line of scrimmage.
Conference game of the night tonight. Alleman is at Galesburg. That is a big one. Blue Devils running it out here in the first half. Come around the corner with Gay, lowers his shoulder, gets out to the 25-yard line. And no, make it Smith, and that's going to be the end of this first half. Blue Devils pick up a couple of yards and a couple of positive plays at the end of the first half, but otherwise they get their doors blown off. 49-0. They trail Peoria Notre Dame. It's halftime at Endra Stadium in Peoria. We'll have the first half highlights such as they are. Recap the statistical analysis, and Jim will tell us how the Devils are going to climb back into this in the second half. All coming up as we go to Blue Devils at the half. You're listening to Devil Football on 103.9 The Fox.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table. This is Michael Libman, Financial Service Representative with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls, even with the internet and email. I feel it's important to really get to know you and your family's needs. Otherwise, how will I know what direction you need to take? Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Lipman. He makes house calls.
A loved one passes on, and for a moment, time seems to stand still.
My husband was my whole world. We spent so much time together.
Making funeral arrangements is never easy. We can help you create a ceremony with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
Around here, people matter, and relationships are built on trust. That's the way it is at Town & Country Bank. Real people who like things simple, honest, and done right. And our roots are right here, so we're truly local. If you already do business with us, then you know how good banking can be. And if you're not, well, maybe you should. Town & Country Bank. You'll like how we do business.
Part of the HNB Bank family.
Federated Insurance is a lot like the family businesses we help protect. For 105 years and counting, Federated has shared the common values that have served our clients well. Federated Insurance, it's our business to protect yours.
Call Tony Reese in Quincy at 223-4623.
It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available, and Adams is bringing fiber to the home. Nothing else compares to fiber, and Adams will be connecting Quincy neighborhoods to this lightning-fast internet and telephone service with no gimmick pricing and local service. Find out how your neighborhood can become a fiberhood. Just take the quick survey at followthefiber.net. Adams, the better and now faster way to connect.
Your State Farm agent, Charles Schultz, can help get you to a better state. From cost to coverage, Charles can develop a plan just for you.
This is Charles Schultz. Call me at 224-6665 or drop by my office next to County Market at 48th and Broadway, and together we'll review your insurance needs.
Oh, that story looks good. Let me click that link. What? Locked? Pay site? Why do they link stories that I can't see? I'm not paying for that.
All of your online news at your fingertips is free on QuincyJournal.com. Quincy Journal also has a mobile site that fits your smartphone perfectly. And have you taken a peek at QJ TV, QND Lady Raiders, Quincy High Blue Devils, QND Raiders games and more, live on QJ TV. For the latest in politics, community news, and more, free every day, it's QuincyJournal.com.
Interception return for a touchdown as well. So most of those are coming off turnovers by the Blue Devils You mentioned it in the pregame show. Devils needed to be even or win the turnover battle, and right now they're down 3-0.
Yeah, and unfortunately, not only down 3-0, you give up a touchdown on the first play of the game. You then give up a punt return on the next time they touch the ball, and the third time you have it, you throw a pick. I mean, it was 21-0 before most people got seated.
It was 21-0 before I opened my water.
Yeah.
So it was a tough start to this one tonight for the Blue Devils. Less than 2 minutes into the game, as Jim said, they were down 21-0 in this one, and they're down 49-0, and it will be a running clock in this second half.
Running clock with light rain.
And so we were hoping that maybe they would bend the rules and start that running clock in the first half, but no such luck. Thanks to everyone who texted in. It wasn't ignorance of the rules. It was a hopeful optimism here this evening, as not only are the Blue Devils struggling, but also the officiating crew is aware of the fact that there is possible severe weather that is sliding across the state toward our location on the north side of Peoria that could come later tonight. Now, it was looking in the future cast, they said, as if it would split and go north of us and then slide south, but that possibility is still there. So, say what you will, this game is right now out of reach for the Blue Devils, and they're just hoping to play through it without anyone getting injured, frankly, here in this second half. We're at the half. The Blue Devils, 17 rushes for 66 yards, 0 of 7 in the passing game, 3 interceptions. Nothing's come together for the Blue Devils so far here in this first half. Coming up, as we continue Blue Devils at the half, we'll look at the upcoming schedule for the Blue Devils as well as around the conference tonight. And we'll have our first half highlights all before we kick off the second half here at Endress Field. You're listening to Devil Football on 103.9 The Fox. Yeah, 2 minutes is fine. Yeah, that's fine. Didn't hear any Blue Devil scores. They're being shut out 49-0 here at Endress Field on the north side of Peoria in week 2. Jim, looking ahead for the Blue Devils in week 3. They'll be back home at Flynn Stadium to take on Rock Island. That was a Rock Island team that the Devils had their return engagement against and really, looked like their best a couple of times last year.
Rock Island?
Yep.
Well, who are they playing this week? Rock Island, not Oleman.
Rock Island is hosting Richwoods right now. So Richwoods left their living room, turned it over to Peoria Notre Dame, and went to Rock Island.
One of the first things that surprised me about last week was Rock Island only beat Manual 19-12 in week 1.
Yep.
Rock Island is usually our biggest rivalry. We were happy to get them the second time around after we lost the first time up there. We better be ready. I mean, it's unbelievable, that we could be this bad tonight. But the beauty is next week at Rock Island, certainly the kids will be up for it, return to home. We got a
conference game.
If anything in the second half here, I'd like to see, let's see what kind of adjustments we make to get positive yards, to get some sort of offense sustained, and put some points on the board. You need to have some sort of momentum here in the second half to at least, I don't want to say build on, but at least to feel good about doing something here before you head home on the bus. 49-0, the first half is over. You can't do anything about that. Try and keep them off the scoreboard in the second half. Put 2-3 touchdowns on the board, get your offense working, and have something to build on for next week.
The other games around the conference tonight, Alleman is at Galesburg. I'm being told that game began with several lightning strikes, and they have not kicked off yet at Galesburg as they are under a lightning delay with Alleman and Galesburg. That was the latest a few moments ago. Moline is here in Peoria with us tonight. They're taking on Peoria High. That is the Peoria team that put the 50-7 on Alleman last week. I think that'll be interesting to see how that one goes. And then it's East Moline United Township taking on Manual at home in the Quad Cities this evening. So those are your other Western Big Six games going on tonight.
Well, if anything about what you just said, we at least this week and last week, even though we were delayed, last week we were at home. This week we haven't been delayed. They're starting. They haven't even started yet in Galesburg. It's almost
that was the last word I got about 10 minutes ago, that Alleman-Galesburg game hadn't started yet. Well, I might be able to head back and catch it.
Yeah,
Galesburg's only like 42 minutes from here, 42 miles to 40 minutes from here. We'll catch the second half on the way back. We'll see how it goes. Well, this halftime is just about done. We'll take our final timeout. Thanks to Jim for that look around the league tonight. Second half, it comes up next. This rain is just pesky right now, intermittent. It's not even enough to put the tarp on the field in a baseball game, and it has slacked off as the players have come out from their locker rooms to stretch for the second half. That second half comes up next. It's all Peoria Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish lead the Quincy Blue Devils 49-0 on 103.9 The Fox.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table. This is Michael Libman, Financial Service Representative with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls, even with the internet and email. I feel it's important to really get to know you and your family's needs. Otherwise, how will I know what direction you need to take? Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Lipman. He makes house calls.
Around here, people matter, and relationships are built on trust. That's the way it is at Town & Country Bank. Real people who like things simple, honest, and done right. And our roots are right here, so we're truly local. If you already do business with us, then you know how good banking can be. And if you're not, well, maybe you should. Town & Country Bank. You'll like how we do business.
Part of the HNB Bank family.
Federated Insurance is a lot like the family businesses we help protect. For 105 years and counting, Federated has shared the common values that have served our clients well. Federated Insurance, it's our business to protect yours.
Call Tony Reese in Quincy at 223-4623.
The Fox. I'm Sean Seacrease along with Jim Hansen. Thank you for joining us on the Fox, online at 1039thefox.com, through your TuneIn app on any of your smart platforms, or at quincyjournal.com. Just click the QJ TV tab and you can watch tonight's game with a TV experience. They're just hyped up there for the breaking the huddle for Peoria Notre Dame coming to the near side. Why not be excited if you're a member of this Fighting Irish team? You're up 49-0 after having your way with everything in the first half. If you're Joe Walters, the head coach of PND, I think you just close up the playbook, maybe run some stuff for your depth guys, and don't get anybody hurt.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they send everybody out that started, or they give their starters a rest.
We'll keep an eye on it for you. Wind has calmed coming out of the north. Still blowing, but not swirling at the rate that it was when we kicked off here at Endress Field about an hour and 20 minutes ago. Blue Devils deferred that first half possession, so they'll get the ball to start this second half. Bowski is ready to kick it away from his own 40-yard line. Devils will move right to left here in the third quarter, and until the Devils cut the deficit to less than 40, it'll be a running clock here in the second half. That means football time becomes real time, Jim, which is unusual.
Well, you know, that's the way the game is played here at the high school level, and we took advantage of it last year or 2 years ago, and now it's slapped on us. And it looks like they're trotting out their starting defense, so.
Toe poke on that kickoff, returned by Carson Gay. Gay gets up to the 33-yard line for the Devils. So they'll start from good field position. Their best tonight, their own 34 when they put it down. We'll take a look at who the Devils use coming out here in the second half. Blue Devils are going to come to the line with Ricard. He's got Smith, Unmasig, and right now Gay in the backfield with him as Brock Miller is not out there. Turn around, hand it to Gay. Gay gets the pull from Prost, runs past the would-be pulling lineman, and gets himself 3 yards, maybe 4, running around the right end. Gay with 4 on the pickup. That goes with his negative 2 yards at the end of the first quarter. Make it first half. And so he's got 2 on 2 carries overall tonight. Second and a long 6 for the Devils from the far side hash marks. Wing T behind Ricard. Card turns around, hands it to Unmisig. Unmisig, he finds a little seam, gets past the line of scrimmage, and picks up 2 on a squirt out near the 35-yard line, out near the 40, rather. The yard lines aren't marked here at Endress Field, and they use the tiny little fold-down yard signs, but they don't tell the teams on the sidelines to stand away from them, so they're all covered up everywhere except inside the 20s. They at least should paint midfield a different color so you have an idea of where you're at. Blue Devils on 3rd down and 5 from the 39-yard line after that pickup by Unmisig. They're going to turn around, go on the delay, hand it to Gay. Gay's got the first down. Gay, he picks up 8, and he is just shy of midfield at the 47-yard line.
Well, let's give some credit where it's due there. That was a nice, play by the Devils. Pick up 7, I believe, on that play, 7 or 8. They finally got some holes, ran a misdirection play back off right guard for Gay, and he was able to make a move in the interior there.
And as you said, PND came out with their first team defense here, so the Devils moving the ball well to start this second half. Down 49-0, just shy of midfield. Devils going to hand it off to Unmisig. Unmisig breaks into the secondary, tripped up at the 40 and is down at the 35. As Unmisig picks up the longest play from scrimmage tonight for the Devils tonight, 18 yards on that carry.
Well, I imagine the Blue Devils got a rather stern, loud lecture at halftime.
Blue Devils, 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line as they're into PND territory. They're going to go on the option. It's Gay on the corner, nowhere to go. Dances across the line of scrimmage and down to the 35. Let's see where they mark him out along the sideline. That play started at the 37. Give him 2 to exactly the 35. That'll bring up 2nd and 8.
Actually, it was he was lucky he got 2. I mean, the pitch came kind of 5
late.
yards deep, and he was able to elude a tackler and at least get positive yardage.
And that was a key run for 7, but only 2 of it counted as forward momentum because he was buried in the backfield on the late pitch from Picard. Wing T behind Picard, 2nd and 8. They're going to go to Unmisig and nowhere to go. Unmisig gets absolutely swallowed at the point of attack. That was led by the big defensive lineman, Brandon Botchin. Botchin's 6'4", 230 pounds.
See, and this has been the problem so far tonight for most of our offensive plays. We'll get a couple positive yardage, and then we'll take a play with really nothing, and then our drives have just stalled.
3rd down and 8 from the 36-yard line for the Devils. They're going to go wishbone. Going to pitch it and give it to Smith. Smith runs on the angle, runs through 4 would-be tacklers, but he's not going to get much, just down to the 36-yard line. Rather make it the 31. Again, the unmarked lines and just chaos on the field. So he picks up 5 down to the 31, and the Devils need 4 on 4th and 4.
Well,
you might as well go for it here.
Yeah. I don't think we'll see the,
You're kicking into the wind, and you're looking at a long field goal.
No,
not with the turf that you're used to at home either. Near side hash mark. Devils going to go for it 4th and 4, moving right to left. Come out in the wing tee behind Cricard. Cricard comes up out of his hard count and is going to take a timeout. 7:15 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Blue Devils are down 49-0. The clock does stop on a timeout, so we'll take it also. You're listening to Devil Football on the Fox.
A loved one passes on, and for a moment, time seems to stand still.
My husband was my whole world. We spent so much time together.
Making funeral arrangements is never easy. We can help you create a ceremony with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
Second half, coming out of the huddle. They're looking at 4th and 4. They're going to go for it, down 49-0. They are in Peoria Notre Dame territory at the 31. They need to pick up 4 here to keep the sticks moving. Picard under center with the first team offense on the near side. Going to turn around, give it to Smith. Smith hits the hole, and he's going to come up short. Smith
He's
is
about
going to
3
be
yards
close,
short.
but I don't think he's got it. Let's see if they measure it. He's inside the 30 at the 27, but they needed the 26. Let's
he
see.
got a heck of a spot.
Yeah, he did. If he gets 5 yards and moves this is big. He's got 28 yards on the night. They gave him 5 all the way down to the 26. I expect that at Flint
Tell you
Stadium,
what, he runs
not here
hard.
on the road. Yeah,
he runs hard, and he lowers his shoulder and runs people over.
6:40 to go, third quarter. Blue Devils on the third quarter's opening possession, running clock situation with the Devils trailing 49-0 on the road here at PND. Turnaround, hands it to Unmisig. Unmisig trying to be patient, cut it back, nowhere to go. Unmisig and all the Devil backs for the most part are coming around the corner and just looking at a wall of Navy shirts from the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, that, I don't want to say it was slow developing, but I don't know if he had to bump it out a little bit to get around his tackle. And by the time that happened, Peoria Notre Dame had 3 guys flowing to the ball.
2nd and 9 from the 26 for the Blue Devils, knocking on the door to the red zone for the first time tonight. 6 minutes to go, third quarter. Picard under center, wing T behind him. Quick hit, double handoff inside, give it to Smith. Smith runs into Picard and he's down at the 24-yard line after a gain of 2.
Now Picard's got to come out because he lost his helmet.
He was hit on the backside by his own tailback in Derek Smith. Smith, let's give him credit last year. He was a freshman, he was developing, and he was an absolute terror for that JV team.
Yeah, that went undefeated and really only got scored on twice. Well, I'm sorry, for the freshman team. He's a sophomore. Yeah.
5:15 to go, third quarter. Clock continues to run. Devils looking at third down, and we're going to call it 6 after that last pickup. Oh, it's dropped on the exchange. The Blue Devils have to go to the backup quarterback, Austin. We mentioned he'd be in because Ricard's helmet came off, and Austin can't handle the snap from center, and Peoria Notre Dame pounces on it, leading the way on the near side and picking it up with the accolades is Jimmy Salamo. He covers it up on the loose ball, and the Devils see their best drive of the night come to an end with a center quarterback fumble at the PND 25.
Well, you lose your quarterback because he got run over from behind and got his helmet knocked off. You bring in the backup. He doesn't get a chance to, take any practice snaps, and there you have it.
Peoria Notre Dame. Let's see how they break the huddle here with which offensive group. 4 minutes to play, third quarter, running clock situation, 49-0. Peoria Notre Dame on top of the Blue Devils. Devils Rock Island at home next week. Make plans to come out and see the Devils. Under center, it's going to be the second quarterback for Peoria Notre Dame, handing off to their depth running back. That is Dillon, handing off to Parker.
I believe the only starter that's left in is Hurst and Andy Shadid, and they've got their backup quarterback and backup running backs on, and Hurst is coming out now.
You have to have some continuity on that O-line just to kind of keep things going, don't you? I mean, you'll change guys. You're not going to keep the starting O-line in there intact, but you usually see a couple in there to help with continuity.
True. Especially like the center.
Yeah. Dillon under center. They come out wing T behind him. Dillon on the flip outside.
His
Ball
knee went
is
down.
caught and lost, and the knee is down. Great eyes, Jim, on the near side. As that late flip didn't give PND much of an opportunity to draw it up to Anthony Johnson. Johnson loses 2, and that's going to be second down and 12 after the carry by Parker. So second down and 12 from their own 33 for Peoria Notre Dame. The backup quarterback, Patrick Dillon's a 6'3 junior. He wants to hand it off inside. Blue Devils wrap up. You got to be careful with your hands right there. Schluter got his hand up around the face mask. No call. Didn't use it to bring down the ball carrier, Johnson. After that gain of 2 on the play, that'll bring up third and 10.
Let me tell you something. The clock moves awful fast in a running quarter. We're already down to 2 minutes.
Yeah, we're just a couple of snaps away from the end of this third quarter. Third down and 10 from the 35-yard line. for Peoria Notre Dame. 2 minutes to go as they come to the line and snap it. Dillon under center. He's got a new group of backs in there behind him. He's going to go with the late handoff, keeps it himself, goes around the corner out to the 37-yard line. He's eventually run down by Hochschlag, and that'll bring up 4th down and 7, most likely a punt here for PND, their first of the game tonight.
As bad as things are going for us and as good as they're going for Peoria Notre Dame, that ball hit the ground and bounced right up to their running back.
Yep.
Off the grass.
Yep. So the Blue Devils back to return the punt. Devils will send both Gays back. Carson Gay, number 2, and Cameron Gay, number 23. Cameron, the junior. Carson, also a junior, 5'10", 170. And the punt is a low soccer-style angled kick that is going to roll to Carson Gay. Gay picks it up at his own 20.
Just thrown to the ground.
Yeah, back at the own 17, but they'll give him forward progress at the 20. The Devils will have it 1st and 10 with less than a minute to go here in the third quarter at their own 20-yard line. Devils, let's see if they come out with Austin under center or if they're going to bring Cricard back off the far side sideline. It's going to be Cricard as they want some rhythm to try and develop for this unit here in the fleeting moments that will be this second half. Just now 30 seconds to go in this third quarter. Running clock as we are now at 9 o'clock Central Time. 1st and 10 from the 20. Going to go with the early handoff. Devils trying to push on that O-line, and they'll get nowhere on the quick carry by Brody Francis. Francis getting a touch after the fumble last week. Francis, no yards. The Devils really have had a hard time. I'm just within a whisker of 100 yards on the ground tonight. You're 0 for through the air so far. And that is the end of this third quarter with the running clock. We'll have the fourth quarter next. Blue Devils 2nd and 10 from their own 20 to start the fourth quarter. They trail 49-0 on the road against Peoria Notre Dame on 103.9 The Fox.
It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available, and Adams is bringing fiber to the home. Nothing else compares to fiber, and Adams will be connecting Quincy neighborhoods to this lightning-fast internet and telephone service with no gimmick pricing and local service. Find out how your neighborhood can become a fiberhood. Just take the quick survey at followthefiber.net. Adams, the better and now faster way to connect.
Right.
It's not the last game of the season, and, it was like this way every game. This is week 2 of the season.
3rd down and 6 for PND. They are at their own 34-yard line. Going to turn around, give it to Parker on the fake. It's downfield, and
Nice interception.
Nice interception on the far side for the
Jacob
Devils.
Dean. Nice play.
That was
the highlight of the night.
Backup quarterback intercepted on the sideline by Dean.
The other thing is, as much as the Devils have really, stunk it up here tonight, we said coming into this game how good Peoria Notre Dame was. I mean, they're a very good football team. I don't know if they're 49-0 better than us. I don't think if we played them 10 times, this is the type of outcome we'd see more than 50%.
7:50 to go in the ball game. Devils going to come out. Cricard fakes it. Bootlegs to the near side. Looks down the seam. He's got Roos over the shoulder catch. Roos is going to take it into the end zone. Roos, the tight end, with a touchdown. A 48-yard strike from Cricard to Roos puts the Blue Devils on the board.
Yeah, that was a nice pitch and catch, and that time we at least looked for our tight end. And, Roos got some size and some speed and was able to outrun the safety then and finally get in the end zone.
Roos from Cricard puts the Devils on the board. Can they add the point after here? No sense in my mind in going for 2. Just practice your special teams, but it looks like the Devils are going to go for 2.
Yeah, it's not going to stop the running clock even if they get it.
And now the clock is stopped. To the far side, the Devils will line up on the far side. Hash mark moving left to right. This is an untimed down. That's why after the touchdown, Devils come this side, roll it out into the end zone again.
Oh, nice
and it's the
play.
Roots again. Leaking out on the bootleg to the right side. They ran the same play back-to-back. First for 48 yards, then on the 2-point conversion as Cricard hits Roots twice. And the Devils look like they've established some rhythm through the air on this last series.
I would say I'd like to see a little bit more of him. Roos, that is. I mean, we've got 2 weapons at the tight end spot, and I think if we could get the passing game established a little bit more, it really would open up the running game a little bit. I mean, Roos is 6'3", 6'4", 210. Hochschlag is about the same size. You got those bookends on both sides. If we can get him some time and he can get the ball to him, that's a big target, and they both can run.
So the Devils ready to kick it away after getting on the board here, 49-8. 7:39 to go in the game. This will still be a running clock. You have to cut the deficit to less than 40 once you're down that many. And I have a feeling that if Peoria Notre Dame has any success on this drive, this will probably be the last possession of the game. That running clock runs quickly. It's 7 minutes.
Yeah, no kidding.
Devils ready to kick off from their own 40 on the north end of the field. They'll kick north to south. That's left to right here tonight. We'll be back at this facility in Richwoods in week 9 when the Devils play here on the road.
So Manual and the Peoria High are using the stadium, the city stadium?
Public school stadium, yeah. Peoria Public Stadium. You go to different communities, and the stadium that Alton uses there is Alton and Alton Marquette use public school stadium in there. And then
right,
you have
right.
Public High Stadium
yes,
here, too. So it's different venues, but similar names. Kind of like having a Broadway or a Main Street in every town. Devils go onside kick, picked up by an alert up man for Peoria Notre Dame.
Big number 74.
Great job that time by Dan Schendorf.
He's got a great number.
Was that your number?
It was.
I know we occasionally talk about this when we have downtime, like we do right now. You played at what weights in college at Western? 285, I think?
No. I had gotten to 285. When I started, I was like at 250.
Okay, but by the time you were starting as a junior or senior, 285?
Yeah. No, I started at 250.
Okay, 250. Okay.
My sophomore year, I was 285, which I looked like.
So you still ate the steaks, you just stopped eating the cookies?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you now?
285 was uncomfortable.
And now, what are you, 220 now? 225. For those who have, and you put that a little different. You put that weight on intentionally to play ball.
Yes.
How hard was it for you to lose it?
Easy. Instead of eating for 4, you ate for 1.
and kept moving too. My buddy,
Yes.
who you've met, my buddy Brian, he always says he's going to put out a 500-page book in which 499 of the pages are blank, and the advice will be eat less, exercise more.
Exactly.
And then that's
it.
Second down and 5 for Peoria Notre Dame, as the 5-yard pickup by Parker has them in good condition. Hands it off to the outside, and a first down across the 40-yard line in Blue Devil territory. Moves the sticks for PND.
To bore you, we went to the offensive lineman. We would go to Godfather's. They had an all-you-could-eat pizza buffet.
I remember Godfather's in St. Louis. And pizza would slide around in the pan. It was so greasy.
Yeah, and they obviously lost money, but I was with our starting center who got drafted by the Falcons, set the record in there. He ate 28 pieces of Godfather's pizza in one sitting.
Oh,
it was hard. It was hard to watch.
Gets great penetration coming off the far side edge with Derek Rowan. Rowan, the senior, blows up that handoff right at the point of attack for PND, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 1 after Peoria Notre Dame didn't get a favorable spot on the previous run by their new back, Mills. So we'll see. They're going to go for it here on 4th and 1. Just keep it on the ground. You're not embarrassing a team by doing this. At the 40-yard line, Dillon under center. He threw the pick by Dean earlier. Now they're going to turn it around, hand it off. Dillon's going to keep it, and he's not going to get there. Devils are going to stop him on downs at the 40.
You're right. Gosh, I thought he got it.
Yeah, no, he was
Nice
slung
play.
right around at the 40 as the Devils
29
got
and
great penetration right up the middle with Ruxlow, it looked like, in there with Cookson.
Yeah. I actually thought he got to the corner and fell forward, but you're right.
Blue Devils take it away on downs, and they will start with 4.5 minutes to go at their own 40-yard line.
Well, at least the rain held off.
Yeah, Blue Devils down 49-8. Yeah, I hope this isn't one of those odd years where it's just like every Friday we get hammered by weather.
I know. Or a late start or a late delay.
It's been an interesting opening 2 weeks. Blue Devils out in the wing tee at the 40, 1st and 10, going to hand it off with the backup quarterback in there now, Devin Austin. Austin hands it out to the far side. Devils look to have the first down off some very hard running by Carson Gay. Gay did a good job of waiting for blockers that time as he picks up 12 into PND territory at the 48.
Granted, it's been a limited body of work here in the second half due to the running clock, but certainly better effort and better production as far as our offensive plays have
Devin Austin
gone.
hands this one outside to Gay.
Oh.
Gay cuts it back. He gets hit hard at the 45 and down at the 44-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 6.
Well, I guess it's not holding if they don't see it and they don't call it, but we just got away with a takedown.
17 yards for Carson Gay. 17 yards for Cameron Gay, 2 for Carson Gay on carries tonight. 2nd down and 5 for the Devils. Devils near side hash marks, left to right. Austin under center, hands this one off. They're going to feed the fullback, Dominic Anders. Anders, the 5'10", 215-pound junior, falls forward for 3, and that'll bring up 3rd and 2, maybe 3. Anders gets a great spot on a gain of 4. So make it 3rd and 1. 2.5 to go. Devils down 49-8. Been a running clock all second half. Turn this one around. It's on the ground. Picked up by the Devils. First down. They're going to make something out of the broken play. Run to the far side. And the Devils are going to take this one into the red zone off hard running on that broken play by Gay as he was able to pick up 20 yards. He bounced that one off the turf in the backfield, Jim, and then ran for 20.
You know, I thought he was lucky to just get the ball, let alone pick it up and go for the yardage he did. I thought there was a Notre Dame defender there.
Blue Devils 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Come out, get a double handoff to Gay. He comes this way on the near side. Has a blocker down to the 15. The pile catches up with him. He'll be down at the 11-yard line for a gain of 7. And a minute 45 to go. You don't like that double reverse handoff.
No, I mean, right there is an example why. That was a bobble. I mean, it wasn't a clean handoff.
No. 90 seconds to go in the game. Devils down 49-8. Going to be 2nd and 4 from the 12. Austin under center, sends a man in motion. That's Gay. Give it to Gay. The outside DN crashes
nice
down,
move.
sidesteps him. He's running for the flag. He's at the 5 and into the end zone. Carson Gay scampers in for a 12-yard touchdown as he had no one to block for him. He just undressed 3 PND defenders and gets in from 12.
Nice moves. Shimmy shake, slide on the outside, and was able to get into the corner.
So the Blue Devils wrap up a quick 60-yard touchdown drive on the 12-yard touchdown run from Gay. Minute 11 to go in the game now. Devils down 49-14. They're going to go for 2 again. Let's see if they're going to let Devin Austin, the junior quarterback, throw this one.
Oh, nice.
They're going to take him on a short lip. It's to the front of the end zone and
caught.
I thought they were going to say incomplete. Sliding down to make that catch. The Blue Devils got it into the hands of Derek Rowan. And Rowan picks up the 2-point conversion.
Well, I know his dad will be happy. His dad coaches the QIFL 5th and 6th blue team that my son plays on. And Dave said he was coming up here tonight and turn around, and we got a game out of town tomorrow.
Where do you go tomorrow?
Hannibal.
Ooh.
Although all the other 5th and 6th and 3rd and 4th and 1st and 2nd grade teams are playing in Bowling Green. We're the only team going to Hannibal.
Are you going to be their Helias Crusaders to their Hannibal Pirates, or will it?
I hope so. That'd be nice. I wish we had Hale Hinchcus, too, the Helias tight end who's going to Alabama.
I think the Rams and the Chiefs might wish they had Hale Hinchcus.
Yeah.
Minute 11 to play in this one. Blue Devils down 49-16. 1-1 after tonight.
It's better than being 0-2.
Yes, it is. Devils going to kick it away from the 40. We'll take a final timeout when this one goes final. Come back, wrap up the stats. We'll hear from head coach Rick Little. Have tonight's highlights for the Blue Devils as they've all come here in the second half. And then we'll get you on the road home and look to see you at Flynn Stadium next week for a cool, clear, cloudless 73-degree evening. I'm going on the record right now.
You know, we'll be at home, so it really doesn't matter.
Here's another short punt as the Devils go for an onside kick. Peoria Notre Dame spots it, grabs it, and goes down to the turf with Floyd Henderson. And Peoria Notre Dame will have this one at their own 42 to run out the clock. PND just take a knee here and the game's over. Clock continues to run, and the Devils going to fall to 1-1 after a lackluster start, to say the least, of this one. They were down 21-0 2 minutes into the game, and are going to fall by the final of 49-16 here on the road, playing at Richwoods against Peoria Notre Dame. A knee taken, and that's going to do it. This one is a final here this evening. The Blue Devils fall to 1-1 on the season and will undoubtedly fall out of the Class 7 top 10. And Peoria Notre Dame, they have put back-to-back pastings on 2 good football teams. Richwoods last week 42-0. The Blue Devils this week 49-16. And that is the final here tonight. For Scott Hardy back in the studio and my partner Jim Hansen, thanks for joining us. We'll have the postgame show coming up next. Peoria Notre Dame, too much for the Devils to handle tonight. 49-16 your final. We'll have more in the postgame show next on 103.9 The Fox.